What's up, Wildcats? I'm here with,
Isabella Henson-Vendrell.
Gabi Henson-Vendrell.
also known as Isa, and today we're going to get an inside look of her pregame routines. What do you do before every game that gets you locked in, physically and mentally?
So before every lacrosse game, I usually wake up and journal in the morning. That's the first thing I do before breakfast. And then I'll make sure that I eat something with eggs for my breakfast so that it can fuel me for the game. And then I usually give my parents a call and hear any supportive things they have to say for me in that day. And then I just like to listen to my music and get ready for the game.
What kind of music do you like to listen to before a game?
So I'm a big Latin fan. I love Spanish music. I love getting ready, listening to Latin music, especially artists like Bad Bunny, Fercho, Karol G, and I also listen to a lot of hip hop, like Drake and Travis Scott, just to get me ready for that day.
If you could go to a concert of any of those artists, like tomorrow, which concert would you go to?
I would definitely say Bad Bunny because I just love his music so much, and it's something that's close to my heart since I am Puerto Rican, and I just always love listening to my Puerto Rican beats and the rhythm of the music.
Before every game, I usually pick out an outfit because I love going and just having like a game outfit for each game here. And so I do that. And then sometimes we go to the inn or I make my own breakfast. And if I make my own breakfast, I usually have a bacon, egg, and cheese with potatoes on the side. So then after that, I come here, usually do my hair up like as I'm putting my curly hair out in a ponytail. And then like I do like this like side piece here, like where it's all in front. And then after that, I get my AirPods on and listen to my playlist. It's called Fuego. So it's like Latin music, rap, and a lot of Ghana. So I always play that and some Afro beats too, because that like gets me in the mood. Then I go to my locker after like change into all my clothes and like my uniform and everything, and then I just sit there and like listen to that music and like try to like visualize the game in my head. And then there's like a certain time where we all have to get together as a team and like start our psych up, and by then like it's all like team things getting ready. Like we listen to music and get ready together, and then our coaches come in.
As we know, you have a twin sister on the team, Gabi. What is your favorite quality about your sister?
I have so many favorite qualities of her, but one thing I would say is that she's a very knowledgeable person. Like I can always go to her and ask her a question literally about anything, and she knows the answer to it. And she's very um, like well-spoken person. So anything she answers, it's like very well rehearsed, very well said, and that's a quality that I always like look at her for, and I'm like, wow, like how are you so well-spoken and all of these different things. But definitely that she's a very knowledgeable person, and she's funny, she's smart, she's caring, she's loving, all these different things.
She is like she's a kindest person. Like she'll do anything for people, and she cares more about people and like how they're feeling and if they're being cared for more than herself. Like she is. That's like my favorite thing about her is that she's always just like she like thinks that she's my mom sometimes, because she's like, Gabby, have you done this? Have you done that? Like she cares so much, and she does it with my friends too, because she's just like she's like that. She always puts people before herself, and she also is definitely like a peacemaker. Like she is very approachable to go to, and she like always wants things to be good. So I definitely love that about her the most.
You played on the national Puerto Rican women's team for lacrosse. That's incredible, number one. Can you talk a little bit about that experience and how that means to you as a player here at Villanova?
So I've been with the Puerto Rico lacrosse organization for like 5 years now. I started when I was 15 years old and played in the U19 Canada World Games, and that experience itself was amazing. That was the first time I played with my Puerto Rican sisters and my other teammates, and it was an incredible experience because we all bonded and had the same passion for the love of lacrosse while sharing our different heritage and Puerto Rican roots. So it was an incredible experience. And I'm about to compete this summer in Hong Kong, China for the 2024 Under 20 World Games. And it's another experience that I'm really, really excited for. So we'll see how it goes.
How would you describe the Villanova women's lacrosse team culture?
It is definitely something that I like love talking about because it's we've grown a lot as a team, and our culture is something that we're like big about. So we call ourselves a family, and I would say that we are one because ever since I've been there since last year, it's been amazing. I was welcomed right away, especially by the senior class at the time. So like right away, I felt like comfortable, and I really noticed that like there's a lot of differences between like me and my other teammates just because of like how I look and being a person of color and where I come from. But I noticed I had to step out of my comfort zone more so that I could like actually make those relationships. And my teammates started to actually like be fine with whenever I would be doing like my own thing. Like for example, I like to dance a lot. And I like to dance to Latin music. So like they would sometimes play music just for me to dance, and like everyone would be like cheering and things like that. So I would be fine like just doing my own thing. And I've really become comfortable with that. There's definitely more that we can do like as a team, and like everybody like being more aware about things going around and like being more conscious about like current things. But it's definitely, I'd say, something that I'm like proud to be a part of.
Would you have expected that growth in the culture when you first came to play to now, and where do you see it going?
That's a good question. I definitely did not see it being like that because at first I was like, okay, this is like every lacrosse team I've been in where everyone looks the same and like everyone is privileged, and it's something that like I don't like being around. So I would always go to my sister. But then I started to like be more honest with my team and really be like, hey, we need to be more aware about things, and like I started to educate them more on just like racial issues, social injustice issues, and just current events around the world. And from then, like I started to see everyone like grow more and be accepting about other people and like their identities. And we've also become closer because of it. So I definitely would not have seen that in the beginning, but just being honest with them, like I've started to see that like everyone wants to grow as people, and I know that in the future it will definitely get better. I just know that it can't just be me or like my sister or other people who identify certain ways on our team. It has to be everybody like wanting to grow as a team and like being better people.
I would describe our team culture as being very unique. Like I think our team specifically has a very special team culture just because our coaches have built a team culture they've been working on building this team culture for many years now, and I think we're at the place now that it's like at a really good like spot. And I would say our team culture is like different from a lot of other teams because I know that all my teammates, all 46 of us, are really close with each other, and I know I can always go for them. I can go to them for anything, and I think that's something that our coaches have really built and really pride themselves in, because building a team culture is not easy, and I really appreciate how well our coaches do that and constantly are building our team culture to make it better.
What gifts or talents that you value and see in your teammates that you try to reflect onto yourself when you play?
I would say the gifts of being aggressive and really competitive, because I think being competitive is a quality that is important in lacrosse, and that's how your team gets better, and that's how you make each other better. And I really value that quality in a lot of my teammates, and it really shows on the field and off the field because we're a very competitive team, and I think that's what's going to take us really far. So.
I know a lot of funny things happen at my practices on the dance team, and I can't imagine what happens at women's lacrosse team practices. So what is a funny memory that you had recently, could have been in the past, or just something that made you laugh at practice?
I would definitely say it's there's one person on the team that like will constantly make me laugh no matter what, and her name is Kathy Gallagher. She's number 45, our goalie, and she is an amazing person. Like the other day, today, she walked into the locker room, and I was telling somebody that they had a nice outfit, and then she goes, "Thanks, Queen," but then I look at her, and she's wearing a bunny suit in our locker room. I was like, what is going on? Like, she was like the Easter bunny. And it was just so funny. Like, and she always has moments like that. That's like this. I'm so glad that she came into my life because she never fails to make me laugh. And I know she never fails to make everybody else on our team laugh.
We have a lot of funny memories. I can't really pinpoint one, but I think whenever our coaches join in and practice with us, those are probably the funnest practices because our coaches, they also played in college, and just seeing their skill level and how they get so competitive while playing with us, it just really makes the practice so much more fun.
For the girls and guys who might not know a lot about lacrosse, what is something you wish someone knew more about your sport?
I would definitely say how tough like this sport is and how it is for women, like seeing like we have to grind every single day, and many of us have gotten like last year I got a black eye, and like also my like entire face was bruised up. I got a concussion. Like we are all tough women, and we go out there every day and like we battle. And I think that's something that a lot of people like don't really think about when they see lacrosse, especially when they see women's lacrosse, because they see men's lacrosse and they like beat each other with sticks, and it's a lot more physical. But like our game is super physical too, and we go out there and we're all like super strong. And I just like wish that more people like saw that and was like, wow, like these women are like warriors, like this is awesome. So I hope that people will see that soon.
Who inspires you to play?
I'd say definitely my family. Like my older sisters were the ones that first introduced lacrosse to me and my sister, and it was around the age of 12 when I first joined. And prior to that, I had no experience in lacrosse. Like I really didn't even know what the sport was, since lacrosse it's not a sport that came from like my family's experiences. So my sisters have definitely supported my sister and I, and they're really the ones that got me into the sport, and I have loved it ever since.
For the girls and guys who might not know a lot about lacrosse, how would you describe your sport and your position?
So in the sport of lacrosse, there's 12 girls that play on the field, including the goalie. And there's 3 different positions: midfield, attack, and defense, and then the goalie. And I myself am a defender, so there's 4 defenders that play at one time, and then usually there's 3 middies and 4 attackers. And it's kind of similar to the concept of soccer, basketball, and like field hockey all in one sport. And the objective is really just to get the ball in the back of the net and to defend your goal. And yeah.
As a person, how do you grow outside of lacrosse? Like, what makes you you?
I would definitely say being involved in things on campus. Like I am on the 13% e-board, and that's probably like where I love just being myself, and also like being with my friends, because I just love everybody who is on the e-board and go to their games, and like we hang out when we go out. Like I just love having that side of myself, like and being able to embrace like my culture and my identity with them, because it can be really hard being on the lacrosse team. So I've definitely grown as a person, just like being open with my identity with them, and like being free to just do whatever. But I would also say like being involved like with other academic clubs here, and just like I've always been a nerd. Like everyone will say that about me, and so like embracing that too. Like a lot of times I can't hang out with people because I'm studying. But like I have big goals, so like being able to like keep working at them and like being true to myself, like I'm definitely grown as a person, and like I'm seeing like things I've always dreamed of doing like come to life now. So that's really cool.
I would say what takes my mind off of lacrosse is I like to color now, like after classes and my practice. Like I just need something to get my mind off, and I'll just sit and color. And my roommates and I all have this coloring book that we just tear the pieces out of and just start coloring, and it really just takes my mind off of things. And I also like to listen to music, and music is something that really like always takes my mind off of whatever I'm thinking. And those are 2 of the things that I always go to when I kind of need to clear myself from the day, or like lacrosse.
And I know you were talking about you have big goals. So what are some of those goals that you have in mind, and what are ways you kind of set yourself up for that success moving forward?
So definitely, so I'm in the business school and I've always wanted to be a lawyer. So that was like I wanted to be more corporate. So I'm like, okay, let me try business. And I didn't know anything about it. So um, last semester, like my freshman year, I decided to do accounting because I liked the class. So that's my major now. And I've started to see that I actually really like it. And so I did a forensic class too in accounting, and I learned about just like that part of accounting that I like didn't know about because people only talk about audit and tax. So I'm interning in that next summer at EY, which I'm really excited about. But I still want to go to law school, so I think that would like either work a little and then go to law school, or like still apply and go to law school and then go back to the company. So I don't know. I definitely want to be a corporate lawyer. But it's just like the path that I'm gonna take is like what I still need to think about, and like I need to think about it now because time is ticking. But I know that like at the end of the day, that's like my dream, and I'm like getting closer to it. So I have to study for my LSAT soon, and then my other goal I would say is like I have been on the Puerto Rican national team for 3 teams now. This is gonna be my third, and I'm going to Hong Kong this summer, so I'm so excited. And that's like something I've like been a part of for a while, and it's like my favorite thing, just like being with other people who are Puerto Rican and embracing my heritage. Like I remember my first game in 2019, they played the national anthem, and while I am used to like the United States one because I've always lived in America, like that the Puerto Rican national anthem has been something that like I too embrace, and like I always cry like when I'm there because it's like so surreal. So I'm just really excited because if I keep at that, they're gonna play in the Olympics in 2028. So I'm hoping to be in that with Puerto Rico.
For the girls and guys who might not know a lot about lacrosse, how would you describe your sport and your position?
So in the sport of lacrosse, there's 12 girls that play on the field, including the goalie. And there's 3 different positions: midfield, attack, and defense, and then the goalie. And I myself am a defender, so there's 4 defenders that play at one time, and then usually there's 3 middies and 4 attackers. And it's kind of similar to the concept of soccer, basketball, and like field hockey all in one sport. And the objective is really just to get the ball in the back of the net and to defend your goal. And yeah, it's like that.
What's the most challenging part about defending your goal?
I would say like the communication part. Like it can be hard communicating with your teammates because you're really focusing on like the ball where the goal is, and then at the same time you really want to communicate with your teammates. And so it can get hard because while you're trying to communicate, while you're trying to defend the girl with the ball, you can kind of lose your footing. And that's why lacrosse is a team sport, because each 12 of the players on the field all have to communicate with each other and make sure you're on the same page. So it can be hard when one person's not on the same page with the entire team, and it can almost fall apart in that case. So.
How do you guys keep that sync during the week when you're prepping for games and when you have to really make sure everyone's on their game?
Yeah, I think it comes with everyone coming to practice every day with their own individual like role. Like if each person comes to practice doing their own job, that helps the team collectively, and that helps practice flow better, and it allows us to really accomplish the drills and things that our coaches had on the practice plan. So it's really, in order for everyone to get on the same page, really just have to communicate and just have fun with doing the things that you love.
Did you have a lot of mentors growing up? And if you did, what is the best advice that you might have heard from one of them, or anything that really keeps you motivated when you play?
Yeah, so I've had a couple mentors throughout my lacrosse career. I'd definitely say my family has been one of my number one supporters and mentors, especially my sisters, because they're the ones that taught me really how to play lacrosse. And I would say my club coaches, they really supported me through everything, and they taught me all the fundamentals. They helped me get better each day at practice. And I would say also like other college girls who were playing in college at the time, like I always looked up to them, especially being a girl of color in lacrosse, and you don't see that very often. So whenever I would see players, for example, like Kayla Wood, who played for UNC, like she was one of the only girls of color on that team, and I could look up to her and know that there are people that look like me in the sport and that I can be as good as them playing at that elite level of college lacrosse.
What are you looking forward to this season? A little bit of a pivot, but what are you looking forward to this season and growing as a player and as a person?
I definitely want to win the Big East championship. That's like the goal. And just like seeing our team grow has been something that I've loved this season. Like it's definitely been tougher than last season. I would say it was a lot easier in the springtime. It's really hard in the fall, but in the springtime, like we were just clicking, we were winning games. Like we had some hard ones, but like we did super well. And as a team, like I was so happy. This season has definitely been tougher, but just seeing everyone be so resilient, and like I've seen how I have been able to be resilient with like how tough our practices have been and how we've had to adapt to a lot of things. I've seen that I'm like I can do this, like I can persevere through like tough times with like school and dealing with that, and also just like seeing myself grow more and be more confident on the field. It's something that like I've loved being a part of, even though it's been really, really hard. But I know at the end of the day, and now that we're playing our first Big East game this Saturday, it's like I think it's all gonna come together, and like everything that we work for, that I've worked for, just like in my role on the team, like it will all come together.
What is something that you want people to know about yourself that you might not have shared, or something that's unique that stands out to you and your character?
I think something that not many people might know about me is that I'm a very hardworking person, and like I have worked so hard in my life to get where I am now, and I definitely think that that's because of like the family I was like the way that my family raised me. And I'd also say sorry and that I'm very passionate with the things that I like to do. Like I'm a very passionate person when it comes to lacrosse, and another one of my passions is running track, because I used to run track in high school, and I think that those are two things that not many people know about me.
What event did you run in track?
So I would always run indoor track, since outdoor track was also in the same season of lacrosse, but my main events were the 4x4, the relay, 4x2, and my main event was the 300 meters, which I loved.
That's amazing. You must be really fast out there.
They say, yes.
You're doing so much, and that is absolutely incredible. I can't wait to see how you do, and we're going to be cheering you on for sure. I have a question about, is there anything that you keep with you, like a lucky charm or a piece of memorabilia from home that is kind of like your good luck charm?
Yeah, so most recently, like, think it has changed for me, but my mom went to Puerto Rico, I think 2 months ago, and she actually brought me this necklace. It's like of the Taino symbol, which is the native tribe in Puerto Rico. And so this has always been like one of the most symbolic things about Puerto Rico, and I wear it every day now because it just like I'm able to embrace who I am, and I know like where I come from, because like my why is my family and my heritage. So it like always reminds me of them and just like where I come from, because like I'm probably the most proudest of being Puerto Rican. So this is definitely something that I always have with me now, and I'm like happy that my mom brought it and gave it to me, because like I never take it off now.
Is there anything here that reminds you of home, or when you're at Villanova and you're like, oh, this feels like home?
Yes, my sister, she definitely is home, because obviously she's my sister, but like we're super close, so we always like, she just reminds me of like my family and being at home, and just like since we also like are in the same apartment together, like I always have her, and when I'm super down, I always go to her. But I'd say too, like my two other roommates are also my family, because like I love them so much, and they are also like another part of my family that I always want to have with me. But like definitely my sister.
So it's really exciting.
Do you have any leaders on your team that really stick out to you and inspire you every day?
So I would say our captain, Kara Morrow, she is someone who is always pushing her teammates day in and day out, on the field, off the field. And she's someone that we always look up to. She's our fifth-year attacker, and every single day she never takes a step back. She's always putting her 110%, and we always know that we can rely on her, and she's someone that is always pushing us to be better players each day, and she's someone that I think a lot of people on our team always look up to.
We love pop culture and movies and shows. So what is your favorite movie or show to watch right now?
This is gonna be a funny one. So my favorite movie is Despicable Me, like just a series. Like everyone knows that about me. I like have a Minion blanket. I have like a Minion chain on my backpack. Like that's definitely my favorite movie. And then my favorite show, I would have to say, is definitely Money Heist, like La Casa de Papel. That was definitely my favorite show of all time. And I love like Spaniard culture, so that was like, you've definitely seen it. It's like an amazing show.
You guys are killing it every single day on that field, and it's going to show, guys. Like, we're waiting on it. We're going to see it. And I just have one more message. Is there something you want to say to the Cats who are coming out to support you at games, no matter the weather, for sure, and just something you want to share?
I just want to share how much of a family, like, just this fan base and the Cats in general. If you come to our games, you'll notice that like the way that we love each other and support each other, and the how fun it is to play in an environment like this and at Villanova. So I would just say, like, just enjoy the positive, contagious energy, because it really is something that will make you really happy.
I would say to my fellow Cats is that keep being you and really take each day as a learning curve, that you can get better and learn new things, and that so that you can spread that knowledge to other people and continue spreading positivity around this campus. And yeah.
Great. Thank you so much, Isa.
When I was just like 7 or 8 years old, I lived near DC, and they had a worldwide day of play. And so they had Big Time Rush performing. They had athletes there and other celebrities. And I went closer there was like a fence, and then celebrities were there. And I went really close to it. And I saw Carmelo Anthony, and he was one of my biggest, like, I'm a fan of him because he's Puerto Rican, and that's my coach. And I've always been a huge supporter of him. So I went up to the fence and I said hi to him. And then we gave him, like, my sisters and I, we all gave him like a little hug. And then, like, that was it. Like, I met Carmelo Anthony, and that was, like, awesome, I think.
You were definitely fangirling.
I really was.
Okay.
Also, yeah.